All right, we are live. Made it to another Sunday. Another beautiful one here on 7 Mile Strip of Negril, Jamaica. As you can see, it is very bright. It is very sunny. Got a little bit of wave action today. It was really calm this morning, like earlier, but it's picking up a little bit. And trust me, we need the breeze because it is so hot, extremely, extremely hot. And we got a good show. There I am. How you doing? We got a good show today. We actually have the president, CEO, founder of Sun Coast Beach Club development, big development that's happening in 12 Mile in St. Thomas. And he's actually going to be here on set, and he'll be coming a little bit later. We, of course, have our own agenda to catch up on a few things. But I would also encourage everybody, and I said this in the post, any questions you have, I would say specifically about this development that this gentleman is doing, Kevin is doing, please let me know. I want this to be a very engaging discussion and conversation. I don't want the questions only coming from me. And this is a big one, especially for that part of the country, because St. Thomas is understood as one of the most untapped parishes in Jamaica. And this gentleman has really seen the vision and potential of that part of the island. And I've only been to St. Thomas one time. And of course, we're going to get there at some point for this channel. But we got St. Thomas coming here with Kevin, the developer. And I'm very excited to ask him a bunch of different questions that I'm curious about. But also, like I said, I would love for you all to have any questions that you want answered about real estate development in Jamaica. And of course, specifically his development that he's doing. We're going to do a bit of a catch up on the live stream that we had on Friday, which is the first weekday live stream that we did. And so we're bringing those back, so they don't normally going to be on Thursday. So we're going to kind of keep that up as usual, like here and out right through the fall and possibly the winter, as a matter of fact. So I'm excited to get back into the swing of things and making that a normal part of the weekly schedule on this channel. We got a lot of great guests lined up, and as I was saying on the Friday stream, it's so much easier to get guests during the week because it's like especially like professional people, like government agencies, or if we're going for like a representative from a company, much easier than on a Sunday because everybody's working. So I'm excited to share those guests and the information that they have on those Thursday live streams. So that's going to be pretty normal as we move throughout the summer and into the fall. And it's going to be specifically one of the big components of that. The agenda is really Throp-X, and as new information, new speakers are released and confirmed, we will be putting it out there first every week. Let me show you all the beach. So as I said earlier, it's a nice day today. It's been extremely hot, and I know are here in Jamaica, and here in Negril is not the only place in the world or Jamaica that is like suffering this like extremely hot weather, and it's really unprecedented. But as you can see, the waves are a little rough, and you can kind of see the wind. And trust me, this is welcomed. It's been like super still. It's been hot and still, like not a lot of air, not a lot of breeze coming through. So this is fine. Everybody's enjoying themselves on the beach. The weekend, I went on a run yesterday. It's early in the morning, but I would say the beach is fairly busy from my observation. Like I always say, that's kind of one of my metrics that I go off of trying to understand like how busy the tourist season we're in, whatever that is. And there's a good amount of people on the beach yesterday morning. Also, we're going to do, for those who were on the stream on Friday, you already saw this, but we're going to premiere the trailer for Throp-X 2023. So we'll do that a little bit later. And hopefully I can get through one article, real estate related, before our guest comes on shortly. So I do want to do just a quick week recap for those who didn't make the live stream on Friday, and if you've already came on Friday, this will be a much shorter version of what we went through, and then you also get to see the trailer again. And we're going to put the trailer out today after the stream on the channel, so you give everybody a chance to share it, like it, and hopefully tell your friends and family about it. But let me know where you're chiming in from. Love hearing from where everybody's from all around the world. What city, what state, what country. Always love hearing this. Let's hop into the comment section real quick and get some hellos. And hi, Donna. How you doing? Yes, Donna says hello, and happy Sunday, Throp, and everyone from hot Ottawa. I hear you. Jeff Rogerson, hi again from Montreal. Awesome. Thanks for joining, Jeff. No beach view, though, Donna says, in Montreal. Claudette Samuels, happy Sunday, Throp. I missed you a few Sundays. Happy to be back. Happy to have you back, Claudette. This should be a good one. You're coming in on a good one for sure. Berrydale, hi from London. Good to see you. Hi, Julia. Thanks for chiming in. Yes, please hit that like button as you come in. We would definitely appreciate that. Thank you. Donna J. Fitz, hello, Throp and Throp family, chiming in from Atlanta. ATL in the house. Kingston 16, happy Sunday from SoCal. Awesome, West Coast in the building. Julia is from Ottawa, of course. Hillary Heaven says, good morning from Northern California, another West Coast. Awesome. Be still logging in from Brampton, Ontario. Awesome, awesome. Thank you, everybody, for chiming in. All right, let's get through some quick announcements here. So, all right, let's start with like Negril stuff. So last week started the Negril is having this football tournament. So all the hotels are getting together and they're doing this this competition. I guess World Cup style, like it's in groups and then it goes down. Sorry, power cut. Be right back. 1 second. There we go. All right, sorry about that. The power just cut out. I hope that's not a sign of things to come in terms of the weather kicking up here. Anyway, I was talking about the tournament, the soccer tournament that we're having here in Negril. And I just want to share some quick photos. This was on Monday. This was Travelers versus Hedonism. Fortunately, we lost, but we also played on Friday. Who did we play on Friday? I can't remember, but yeah, we're not doing well. It's first time like us doing this, and a lot of these teams have been doing this for quite some time and playing together. So we got a ways to go, but I think this is just a great community event. Really brings the hotels together and brings different company teams together. And I thought this is a great effort. And this was put on by the Jamaica Hotel and Tourist Association, the Negril chapter. And so much fun. A lot of people came out curious to see, you know, who takes the chip whenever that happens. So that's what's going on here. Oh, I got to go fix the camera. Sorry, guys. We'll do that in a second. This is our camera setup for when our guest gets here. I will fix that beach camera shortly, probably after I put on the trailer. So we'll do that. We'll do that shortly. I'll fix the camera. Next. We had our NEET graduation on Thursday, which was a lot of fun. So, for those that don't know, we have a nonprofit organization here at Travelers, the Negril Education and Environment Trust, and we focus on education for young people. And we do the 6 to 8 week tablet programs courses that involve both students and also their parent or guardian that come in every Saturday here at Travelers. And we use the tablet as a tool, if you will, for them to facilitate, or for us to facilitate the tablet program. And through that, they learn various different skills of the internet, the do's and don'ts of the internet. Also, they get homework help, and then these are the students, and then the parents have a separate class on best parenting practices, the importance of reading with your child. And the idea behind all of this is to really make this a village-centric approach, our mindsets. And so the students and the parents are able to hold each other accountable in terms of the curriculum being taught in these classes. And then, so on Thursday, we had the graduation for the students and parents. And this was a smaller class. The last class we had was, almost close to 50. And so this was a little bit of a smaller class. And it was a great event. And they worked really hard, all the students and most of the parents as well, of course, worked really hard. That's Ayanna Gregory. She is the daughter of Dick Gregory, freedom fighter and civil rights leader in America. And she did a stellar performance on really, she's a fantastic singer, I should mention. And she herself is also a freedom fighter. And she did just a very empowering musical rendition to inspire young people and to help them to self-motivate with the words that she had and the lyrics that she had in her song. And it was very nice to have her and have somebody of her caliber participate in the graduation. And there we have on the left Miss Jean Brown. She's a master teacher, and she's one of the teachers of the NEET classes and part of the NEET team. And then in the middle is Terry Ann James. She's the administrator for NEET and makes all these wonderful things happen, graduation and the classes as well. And to the right is Harry. He is the owner of the gift shop at Travelers Beach Resort in the front of Travelers. And he just was extremely supportive of the organization and donated many of the gifts and the tokens that we gave out during the graduation. And yeah, just a few more pictures of the kids, the graduates. And yeah, that was the NEET graduation. A lot of fun, and everybody enjoyed themselves. All right, gonna hop over to the comments a little bit, and then I'm going to show the Throp-X trailer. And while that's playing, I'm gonna fix the camera for you all. Where are we? Thomas J. Hello from St. Louis. Welcome, Thomas J. Otis Reed. Happy Sunday from London. Awesome. All the way from across the pond. Cherie DJA. Happy Sunday, Throppers, here in hot Florida with random rain showers. I wish we had some random rain showers here because it is super hot. And I was thinking today, like they say, and I'm not here to fearmonger, this is kind of one, the norm, and then two, kind of the beginning of what it's going to be because of global warming. And this whole idea of just climate adaptation, that's the answer, instead of trying to address the overheating of the earth. It's just kind of scary that this could be not necessarily just the norm, but it's going to be hotter than this. I was like, man, I don't know. And I don't really not that I don't do well in the heat. I'm just a hot person naturally. And for it to be this hot, and we're not even in August yet, I'm like, man, this is crazy. Anyway, I hope it doesn't get much hotter than this in years to come, because who knows what that could mean. But hope you're staying cool over there, Cherie. Warren, hello from Grand Cayman. Awesome. Yvonne, good morning from California, another West Coast person. Thanks for joining, Yvonne, and thank you for being a channel member. Much appreciated. Much appreciated. And shout out to all the channel members. Thank you guys so much. And Patreons, really appreciate your support of this channel. It definitely goes a long way and helps us to do setups like this and bring in guests that we have coming in today, like Kevin from the St. Thomas Development. Pauline, hi Throp, been following you for a while, but first time on a live viewing from Manchester, England. Awesome. Welcome, Pauline, and thanks for being here. Norman, happy Sunday. Thanks for joining. Lessa, Willie McCarthy, happy Sunday, Throp, logging in from New York. Awesome. Thanks for joining. Mark McCarthy, what's going on, man? Hope you are well. Thanks for joining. MDL, hi Throp and Throppers, chiming in from Washington, D.C. area. Norman, chiming in from Jersey. Julia for Justice says, I'm bringing 20 balls for kids in Trenchtown. Awesome. I know that kind of stuff like really goes a long way. Like anything to do with like sports and extracurricular activities. We need that stuff and we need to push that stuff. Shad's love from Southeast London. Awesome. I'm coming. Oh yeah. I guess I'm going to announce that in a second. So like the other thing I forgot to mention, or I guess I will mention now, is that I got into the London Marathon, which is going to be April 23rd, 2024. So like very excited. I've been trying to get in this thing for years. It's for a non-UK citizen. I believe it is the hardest. I think it's the hardest marathon to get into. And yeah, that was the email like I got on Thursday, and super stoked. And for those that don't know, like I run marathons, and I'm trying to complete I have a goal to complete the 6 world major marathons, which is New York, London, Boston, Berlin, Tokyo, and Chicago. So I have so far Berlin, New York, Boston, Chicago, and last I need to do London and Tokyo. So I'm going to apply for Tokyo, which is another very difficult marathon to get into. But at least that one you can get in with your time. But the time is just, I haven't hit the time that they are requiring for you to get in through basically a semi-pro level. So like I think you have to run like a 2 hour and 32 minute marathon or below that. I'm a 2:36 marathoner, and so that's a 6 minute I ran a 6 minute per mile pace for the marathon. In order to qualify for Tokyo, I probably would need to run like, I want to say like maybe a 5:50 per mile pace for 26.2 miles. So I got some work to do, but very excited for that. My point in bringing this up is that I want to do a meetup in April with anybody in the UK, but after Throp-X, we'll start planning this and we'll start planning the meetup, and would definitely need people's help in deciding where to go and how we're going to do it. So I will keep everybody in the loop on that meetup, but super excited for the London Marathon coming up in April of 2024. All right, let's get back to the comments here. What's going on, Andrew? Thanks for chiming in. Good to see you. Julie says, love her dress. Talking about Ayana Gregory. Yeah, nice dress indeed. Peter V says, checking in from Southern California. Beautiful weather. Man, a lot of people from California here. Awesome. What's going on, Chris? Chiming in from Panama City. Hope all is well. Yes, doing well. Thank you. Synthwave Pro, what's going on? Always good to see you. Thank you very much, Natalie. Appreciate it to the max. Okay, moving right along here. I'm gonna go ahead and play the trailer for Throp-X 2023, and the trailer is gonna explain this, but for those that don't know, this is my annual Jamaica investment conference that we host right here in Negril, Jamaica at Travelers, and this is for anybody who's looking to invest in Jamaica, either through financial tools like the stock market or in real estate. So this has definitely a lot. I will say it's real estate heavy for sure in terms of the speakers, and then we actually have an entire day dedicated to visiting different real estate properties around the Negril area that are for sale. And this was one of the highlights last year, just giving people a real tangible understanding of the different values of property and what's available, what you get for square footage, and like actually seeing it. And then we have a lot of amazing speakers in under the subject or umbrella of what I would call like lifestyle, because this has become like a large question in terms of volume. Like a lot of people are asking me, trying to figure out what it is truly like to live in modern day Jamaica. And to me, the best way to explain that or to show you is to interview and have people on the panel, who have done this and experienced it. So we have a lot of those folks who've retired, folks who are young people, young women, young men who have moved here, I would say, in the last 2 to 5 years, and telling people and explaining to us how they did it, their motivation behind doing it, and also explaining their lifestyle. Another subject that I know has become increasingly popular is getting an understanding of healthcare, both in terms of quality of healthcare and also the pricing of healthcare. So we have a lot of healthcare experts who are going to be on this panel as well for Throp-X 2023, which I'm again super excited. So anyway, that's a long story short of what Throp-X is about. And yeah, let's hop into the trailer real quick. And I'm going to go fix that camera. And if you saw it already on the live stream, you get to see it again. All right, here we go.
Hey.
There's been so much interest in the economic boom that's been happening in Jamaica, both on the investment side and also as a place to move to. Let me tell you about a conference that might help you with this stuff. Throp-X is a 5-day Jamaica investment conference that takes place from November 13th to November 17th at the beautiful Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. This includes 2 full days of expert panel presentations on all aspects of moving to and investing in Jamaica. This includes the brightest minds in the Jamaican real estate market, certified financial advisors from the most prestigious financial groups in Jamaica, banking professionals from the most esteemed banking institutions in Jamaica, among others. If you are thinking about moving to Jamaica, this conference is the perfect opportunity to have direct access to not only individuals who have achieved your dream of moving to Jamaica, but you'll also be among like-minded conference goers who are also trying to move to Jamaica. In addition, there will be 1 full day dedicated to touring both residential and commercial real estate for sale in the greater Negril area to give you a tangible idea of the real estate landscape in Jamaica. There will be exclusive properties for sale on this tour that you will not find listed anywhere else. If you are even remotely considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the conference for you. This is the best way to dip your toe in the water of figuring out whether Jamaica is the right place for you to invest and to live. For more information, please visit Throp-X.com and join our mailing list. I look forward to seeing you in November.
Hey.
There's been so much interest in the economic boom that's been happening in Jamaica, both on the... All right. Yeah, and that's the trailer that we put together. Hope you liked it. We will be putting out the, like I said, we're going to put it out on the channel later today. And it should be a good one. Like the trailer said, it's like jam-packed with, I would say, information and value. And one of the biggest things that we changed this year is that we have included, I wouldn't say a lot, but we included a few bits of, I think, important social activities. So one of the major changes that we made is doing a night out on the town here in Negril, and it kind of gives people an understanding of what nightlife is like. And I realized from last year and learning from these things is that there were attendees who hadn't been back to Jamaica in over 20 years. And this was the reason they came back to try, because they really are thinking about either retiring here or moving here or investing here. And it's better to do these things, I would say, in a group setting. And there might be a little trepidation or maybe concern about going out at night based on headlines or whatever have you. And I figured like this is the best way for people to get like a tangible understanding of what it is like, the nightlife is like in Negril. So we're going to do a bit of I wouldn't say bar hopping, but we're going to go from like a few places in the evening, and then we're going to go to a nightclub, which is the only nightclub in Negril, the jungle. So that should be a lot of fun. And then we're also doing a boat ride, which I think is going to be good networking. I hope we're going to have a presentation there as well, and it should be fun. Both of these things should be fun. So those are the major differences that we have coming on. Okay, so we have our guest is actually here. So I'm going to play one more quick video just to give us a break, just so we can settle in. Let's see. Which one should we do? You guys want to see the cottage, or you want to see Negril? Let's do Negril real quick. That's a shorter one. All right, we'll be right back. Give me 3 minutes, and we're going to settle in, and we're going to have our guest join us.
I belong to you. I belong to you. Do just what you want. You're the one I trust, and I always be around when I need some loving, baby. No one else. Yeah. Let you down.
Hello everyone, thanks for joining the tour today, and we're going to be taking a look at the newly renovated bungalows, or otherwise now known as the cottages, which we've gone through about half of them so far, and we're looking at cottages number 4 and 8. at this time, and this is just a view of the balcony. We changed the entrance from being in the middle, and so if you are familiar with the property, there used to be an entrance for 2 rooms in one of these bungalow housing structures, and now each bungalow, each room has their own entrance to the side and a little bit more privacy as well, because we split the balcony. So you don't necessarily have to talk to the neighbor if you don't want to, but you can of course go around if you would like. And moving into the room itself, these are brand new beds and frames and new design with the throw pillows and the standard pillows in the back there. And then you can also see the kitchenette unit that we renovated, and we'll get to in a second. Also, we added a working desk with a charging station, so you have USB and also Type-C there as well, right below the television. And that's for anybody who wants to get some work done, especially those work from home people. And this is a wider view of the room, and I just want to make note of the AC, because these used to be fan cooled rooms, and now we got rid of the louver windows, and so now it's completely sealed up, if you will, with, as far as the windows go, brand new windows. And also want to bring attention to the ceilings. So the ceilings used to be flat, and now we brought them up to an apex to give a little bit more room and make it feel a little bit more spacious, but still maintain the coziness. And also bringing some more attention to the far right corner of the kitchenette that we have, and we'll get to that in a second, and also the newly renovated bathroom. So we basically gutted this entire place. Even the floor tiles are brand new as well. And this is another angle of the bed, and just want to bring some attention to the LED bed frame, as well as the embedded nightstands and lamps, and another view of the kitchenette, I should say. And as you can see, it has basically all the utensils and tools that you might need to cook a meal. Included is a mini fridge there down on the left, and a hot plate, coffee maker, ice bucket, all the knives and utensils that you may need to feed a small family. Not necessarily Thanksgiving dinner, but you can definitely chef it up in there, especially if you're staying for an extended period of time. This might be a perfect type of accommodation for you. And that essentially is the kitchen. And now moving on to the bathroom. And as I mentioned before, like floor to ceiling, new floor tiles, new ceiling tiles. Got the LED frame around the mirror to give a little bit more lights. We changed out the square louver windows for the ship window, I guess you can call it. And we got the rainfall shower head and the glass frame shower door. Even the towel holders, those are all new. And again, trying to bring together everything in the room, the kitchenette, and to complete the cottage experience, if you will. So very happy and proud of how this was done, and really wanted to give a modern look and feel to this new room category, the cottage. And so also with this wider angle, want to bring attention to the closet. So you got some drawer space there, and you got some hanging space as well, and your safe, of course, and the ironing board is on the other side in between the closet and the window there. And yeah, another angle of the room, and also want to bring attention to that long standing mirror there, so full frame mirror. And that essentially is the bungalow, and this is kind of our way of paying homage to my dad and where he started from with this hotel, Travelers Beach Resort. Started right with one bungalow and grew to the 60-room resort that Travelers Beach Resort is now. And my dad hasn't seen it as yet physically. I think he's seen pictures and everything like that. So just want to share this renovation with you all. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. So back to our regularly scheduled program. Hello everyone, thanks for joining the tour today, and we're going to be taking a look at
we're gonna cut
newly
this.
renovated bungalows, are otherwise now known as the cottages, which we've gone through. Okay, we're back. We're back. We're back. Sorry, trying to fix the mic here. Okay, there we go. We're good. Okay, our guest is here. I hope you guys like the videos and everything like that. So we got a lot of media today. So you got the trailer, you got a little beach drone view, and then you also got the bungalow video there, which is the now the cottages, which we haven't gotten through all of them. I saw somebody asked if all of the rooms were redesigned. No, just the bungalows. We're in the process of upgrading the rest of our room inventory, but slowly but surely we will get through all of the rooms. And thank you everybody. Thank you. I'm glad you guys like them. And yes, we have a great design, a great team. My brother Wingate is the one who's making all this happen. He's the one who runs the property and is doing an amazing job with everything going on, all things travelers. Thank you, Mark. So, like I said, we have our guest here. We're gonna hop right into it, and of course, as you can see from the thumbnails and also the post that I made, we are talking about quite a large development in St. Thomas, the Suncoast Beach Club development. And we have with us Mr. Kevin Frith, and he is a serial entrepreneur, a natural one indeed, coming from humble beginnings. He's racked up over 12 successful years in entrepreneurship and business. His businesses include the Wizard of Business, where he advised Jamaican Caribbean businesses, mainly in Connecticut and New York, on business development. Worldwide Novelty, where they manufacture and sell Jamaica 50 memorabilia. Bar Central, which is a series of community bars and shops. Credit Repair International, which was the first credit repair company across the Caribbean. And TCF Holdings Limited, which streamlined the high-end Suncoast Beach Club real estate development in 12 Miles, St. Thomas. Currently, he is in the process of starting a foundation that will specifically target youths who innately possess technical skills, are innovative, artistic, and inventive, but who need empowerment, support, and mentorship. So at this time, I would like to welcome Mr. Kevin Frith to the podcast. Thank you for being here.
So having me.
I know you came a long way to be here. Much appreciated. And before we get started, like anybody out there, like if you have, I said this earlier, if you have any questions at all, please put them in the comment section. Anything to do with real estate development, and of course, this amazing development that's happening in St. Thomas, let me know, and I will flag it, and then we can ask any of your questions that you'd like. So I see that you're a serial entrepreneur, very successful in different types of businesses. My first question would be is how do you decide to move on? It's also it's diverse in the industries that you're in. So how do you decide to move from one industry to the next industry, or from one business to the next business?
Well, the business, I have other companies.
Mhm.
I'm still in the bar business. I still give business advice. So I still operate the Wizard of Business. The company Bar Central is now operating as Ideas Execution, where we're still in the bar business. The development or the real estate business was really like another company that I started. So it's really just a transition based on an opportunity.
I see. And with all this experience that you have in business, like what made you decide to actually get into real estate?
Well, I experienced it some long time ago because my grandfather is actually a building contractor.
Mhm.
So I've experienced it in my younger days. But then in 2018, I was reintroduced to it by a friend of mine.
Mhm.
When I joined as an investor in a project in St. Anne in Miami Bay,
Mhm.
where they did about 17 units. And then that experience actually opened up my eyes to say, it's like I found my passion, then, put it that way. I realized that I've always been the person that I like hands-on stuff,
Mhm.
and I like to build. And then after having that experience between 2018 and 2020, it's like a reignite that flame inside of me to go into construction.
That's awesome. And I could tell, like, just doing research on you and some of your interviews and pictures, like, you really like to get your hands and feet dirty.
Yeah, definitely. I'm an hands-on person. Even my other companies are actually it's like I do all I I'm experienced in all areas of the business.
Hmm. And like, as an entrepreneur, would you say that that's something that sets you apart from your competition or other entrepreneurs?
Yeah, definitely. Sometimes persons go into business that they don't know anything about,
Hmm.
just as an investor. But while it worked for some people, I personally wouldn't do it. Because I think it works best when you have some sense of what you're looking for.
Right.
So it works out best when you can actually participate in it.
And can you tell us a little bit about the process of actually, like, there's one, like, getting into real estate, but then I would think it's very different being a real estate developer. And can you just tell us a little bit about what that process was like for you?
Well, it's a very I'd say expensive process to get in
I can't imagine.
because just land acquisition alone, just the land acquisition alone is expensive.
Mhm.
So it's a real big decision. Sometimes when I look back at it, I really don't regret it. But I made a lot of sacrifice in my personal finances to actually get the Suncoast project going between myself and my business partner. Because the most important part is the cost. It's very expensive.
Yeah, I can imagine. Like, I was like looking at your website and the brochure, which will show shortly, and I can only, like, I was like, man, how much have you dumped into this project already? To get it to this point. I mean, and it's beautiful. Like, you guys have a tremendous vision to kind of put these things together.
Yeah. Well, the designs that we have now, we actually when we first started the project when we first acquired the land and started to put the team together, we had a set of designs in 2021 that they looked nice, but I just wasn't comfortable. And especially to the fact that it's like a 5-year project in total between the three phases. I was just thinking that we needed to build something more futuristic. So we went back to the drawing table, and I'm someone that always travel. So I've been around different places around the world and seen different types of architecture, which inspire me to think that we really need to go back to the drawing table. And then we went back. We got a different architect, and the designs that we have now, I'm very pleased with it. And I'm sure 25 years from now and even beyond, they're still going to be relevant.
So, like, you hit such a good point, which is travel and getting experience and exposing yourself to other parts of the world and different ideas. And there are some new construction projects, some in Negril, some in other parts of Jamaica, that they're doing new construction, and it's old architecture. It's like old school, and I'm like, why are you doing this? Like, it's going to be so much harder, whether it's commercial space or a home or development. It's going to be so much harder to sell those things because you're doing construction, you're doing architecture that's from the 90s. And I'm just so happy, and I'll give you the opportunity to talk about Suncoast development a little bit more. But I agree with you objectively. Like, what you have, the design, the architecture is very modern, and I think that's so important in 2023, not just for you, like, as a business person, and for it to be a lucrative investment, but I think as a country, like, because I think, like, we want to be able to compete Jamaica with any other part of the world when people are thinking, like, where should I invest, where should I live, where should I retire. And with modern accommodations and modern architecture, we become more competitive in that sense.
Yeah, well, definitely. Like I said, when we look at it, we had to be thinking ahead, because we don't want by the time we're finished, it look like we built it 10 years ago.
Right, right.
We need it to be futuristic. It should look like something that will be built in 2030 or beyond. So we spent a lot of time in creating the look and feel, and especially the fact that we're right at the beach, so we went for a resort style. So we went for an architect that have experience in the resort industry, and we kind of share our vision, and he put his ideas together, and this is what we come up with.
Okay, awesome, awesome. And just as a reminder, my guest today is Kevin Frith. He is the CEO and founder of Sun Coast Development in St. Thomas. And of course, if you have any questions for him, just put it in the comments. I'd be more than happy to ask them, and I'm sure Mr. Frith would be more than happy to answer them. With that, could you just give us a breakdown about the development itself and tell us all about it? We've been kind of talking around it, and we will for sure show the brochure and perhaps even the website at some point in time.
Okay, so Suncoast Beach Club, it's located in 12 miles St. Thomas. That's right now with the existing road condition, it's about 25 minutes from the Norman Manley International Airport. I'd say with the completion of the section of the highway that leads to the property, from the Arborview roundabout to Suncoast will be about 12 minutes.
Wow. Oh.
So roughly probably 16, 17 minutes from the airport. And then we're on 91 acres of beachfront property. We're building 396 residential solution, ranging from 2-bedroom townhouse, 2-bedroom duplex. We have 4-bedroom villas. We have some condominiums. And then we also have about 15,000 square feet of commercial space. That consists of supermarket, entertainment area, urgent care facility, and when you think of our amenities, like I said, we're right there on the beachfront, so you have beach access, of course. We have mini golf course. We have a doggy park, a kids play area. There's a jogging trail right around the community. So we went all out. There's a long list of amenities, actually. That's just to name a few. And we're actually we're building out phase one now. We just started the model unit. We're still going through the infrastructure work. So phase one, which consists of 133 units, the 2-bedroom townhouse and the 2-bedroom duplex. Our model unit is actually one of the 2-bedroom duplex. Very beautiful structure. It should be completed by the end of September this year. The model unit, that is.
Okay. Okay, awesome. Going into the amenities, it sounds like you've thought of so much, and specifically when I hear the urgent care, that's you weren't here, but I was speaking to a lot of people have concern about healthcare in Jamaica and the availability of it and the quality of it. And I think it's so important that you thought of that ahead, especially for people who are considering retiring here and being retirement age. That is probably top 3 in their list of considerations.
Yeah, well, so when we conceptualize Suncoast, we have to bear in mind that where we're building, it's like a virgin territory. We're actually one of the first to be opening up St. Thomas like this. And so we had to bear everything in mind. We have to take into consideration that the nearest hospital is at KPH or Morant Bay, but I think KPH would be the closest one.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then supermarket is all the way in Arborview. So we had to take all those things into consideration and put them in place to deal with the needs of the community. So we want to make sure that whoever buys into Suncoast is able to benefit from the different services at their fingertips, if you want to call it that.
No, I think that's important, and it seems like, especially like with the 2 and 3 bedrooms, like you're obviously thinking about like a real community that you're trying to build here. And I think about families. I think about young families. You mentioned a park for kids to play in. You mentioned the jogging path as well, which is important to me. I'm a marathoner, so I love getting out in the morning and running, and to do it within my community and within the safety of my community. That would mean a tremendous amount to me. And then also, people are becoming more and more health conscious, and as they're choosing to invest in the next phases of their life, fitness and healthy lifestyle is a big part of that. And it seems like you've addressed that in some big ways here.
Yeah, definitely. We put a lot of we did a lot of surveys. We look at a lot of development before this development, and we basically try to fill any gap that we discover in our surveys or just the needs of the people that is going to be buying into the development.
And what were some of the key factors in your decision process to actually choose this location and to choose this parish more specifically?
Well, as a businessman, I'm in business for quite some time now, and so I'm able to identify opportunities. And then after my separation from the St. Anne project, I wanted to do something else, and I was shopping around and trying to do some research, and then I realized that the highway um, project would have started like months after my separation from the St. Anne project.
What year is this about?
2020.
Okay.
2020. Because we actually bought that land in 2020. So I was researching and I realized that the highway would have started. And to me, based on my experience, it's like roads. Once you have access, then there's development.
Right.
So and then it's like a no-brainer because around town this is the closest beachfront community to Kingston. That you could actually build something out like this because in my what I like to do, I like to be different, right? So I didn't want to just like do something that everyone else is doing. I was actually looking out for an opportunity where we could do something different, and basically I like to set trends. So we went out, we found the land, and it was like love at first sight. The very first day I went there, I had no clue how I could pay for it.
Wow.
But I told the man to consider it sold
Mhm.
because I know I wouldn't sleep until I get it done. And I did. And, me and my business partner spent a lot of time, putting all the necessary things together. And, to me right now, St. Thomas is the place. As the minister said it actually the other day that St. Thomas is the new frontier.
Mhm.
So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it seems like so one, you moved incredibly quickly on the back end of the highways construction, right? And that takes a lot of gall to do that, and then also to have the vision to do that. So I commend you, and to be on the forefront of this. And we've talked even from 2020. I think 2020 is when we first started talking about St. Thomas on this channel, and because of the highway. And we had a guest. She's actually from St. Thomas. She's a financial advisor for a large finance company here in Jamaica, and she was just telling us about St. Thomas and how we should consider investing in St. Thomas from now. And now we're meeting somebody who's actually doing it in a major way. So that's really, really awesome. We have a lot of questions here, so I'm getting your questions. So don't worry, I haven't forgot about them. I'm actually marking them and flagging them, so we will get to your questions shortly. So keep them coming in. I am making note of that. So, what has been the feedback from the local community of your investment there and you coming there?
Well, I would say everyone that I've spoken to so far has basically been thanking me. You know, they think that the move that I've made, I've increased property prices significantly around there. I had a gentleman who I met on the road the other day, actually stopped me and I said, "Boy, Bridget, you know, I have to thank you because from here launch the Suncoast project in property value gone up, and you know, so that's the essentially the feedback generally. The community is really happy about it. Nothing like this has ever happened in the parish before, in the entire parish, and I feel good about it. Um, Funnily, the same place where I bought the land where Suncoast is, I used to go that side when I was much younger. And one day I remember a gentleman brought me there on the neighboring property, actually.
Oh, get out of here! Look at that.
When I was about 17 years old. And he was going there to buy a land. Well, he was trying to buy the land. But, you know, at 17 years old, I had no interest or anything like that. But it's just a coincidence that all of that happened. And then many years later, I'm back at the same spot. And but it has been good. It has been good.
No, that's amazing. That's what a coincidence. How has the we talked about I just asked you about the community, but how has the response been from the real estate market in general, and real estate brokers? And I would assume that like so many people were like, oh, I want to sell this. I want this under my portfolio. How has that been?
Yeah, it's overwhelming. It's overwhelming. What happened is that we have 133 units in phase one, and so far we have gotten about 500 and probably 60 applications.
Get out of here! Wow.
You know, it's a process
Mm-hmm.
because some persons who apply might not qualify.
Gotcha.
But we're going through the process now of selecting who like making a short list
Mm-hmm.
because well clearly I want to sell all the units, but at the same time I have to control the feel of the community.
Yes. Yes.
So we have a team that goes through each application and make sure that you know, the person match what we're looking for. Um, we're not like, for example, we don't want the community to be too many Airbnbs, you know.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah. So and then we're not against it,
Right.
but we have in our HOA agreement. You know, if you purchase and decide to go into the Airbnb business, then it has to be regulated by the community office because we have to protect other purchasers. Because you know the Airbnb thing, it's good as a business, but it can be really loose if it's not controlled.
One, I think that's amazing because from this, you telling me this is it shows me that you've learned from mistakes that other developments have done.
Definitely.
And because like you hear, I've heard, I won't name the developments, but you've heard horror stories from other developments, particularly in Jamaica, where Airbnb hasn't been the greatest thing for the community. And I've also been to places in Kingston, as a matter of fact, like these apartment complexes that are majority Airbnb, and you go in them and they're soulless. That's like the best way I could describe them to you. They're beautiful, modern architecture, got all the amenities that you can possibly think of, but it just does not feel like a community. It's empty. There's no feeling of I'm home. There's no feeling of a family. It's just missing. And I think from an investor's perspective of potentially investing in your development, this is what people want to hear. They want to know that if they're going to retire in a community, that they're going to know who their neighbor is, and they've gone through this probably rigorous process, and they're assuming that their neighbor has gone through the same rigorous process as well, and so they know that they're of a certain caliber, if you will, and there's certain qualifications that they have gone through in order to be a part of this community. And yeah, I like, yes, Airbnb is great, like you said, as a business, but to me, you're telling me the number one priority is to protect the community and
Yeah,
to protect the field.
definitely. You see, so I don't want when somebody invest their money, it's like they feel as if it was a bad decision based on how the community operate. Because it's not just to build it and sell it. It's something that I see it as going to be a legacy of mine. So I have to make sure I take everything into consideration. And that, among other things, of course, is some of the things that we're making sure that we get right. So yeah, we're making sure that we protect persons' investments in the property.
I think that's beautiful because there are a lot of other developers who are of the mindset money first,
Oh
and as
no,
long as you have the dollars, you can buy this development and buy into it. Don't care what you do with it. You could turn it into anything you'd like.
no. You see, I've been in business long enough to understand that money is not all. While of course, as a businessman, you're going to business to make money, but it's just not all. There are certain things that you have to make sure that you pay attention to, because at the end of the day, I think your name is worth more than no matter how much money you have. It's always, yeah. When you do the right thing, then I guess that's worth more than any amount of money you can have in the bank.
Yeah. No, that I think that's a great principle to stand by, and to have that level of integrity. That means a lot to investors. I can tell you that. You had mentioned that you have 130 units for sale,
133.
133, and you have over 500 applicants.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the application process and the qualifying process?
Well, so basically, we have a customer service line that you could call, or you can go and contact us from the website. But then we also have some real estate companies. So we're working with Keller Williams, Coldwell Banker, Viola Levy, and Remax as the four brokers. So persons interested could contact either one of the brokers or go on the website, which is suncoastbeachclub.com, and then they can get all the information from there. The customer service number is 876-216-5454. Or they can look us up on Instagram, which is Suncoast Beach Club.
I'm just typing that in. Can you give me the website one more time?
Suncoastbeachclub.com.
Got it. Okay.
And of course, one of the policy that I've told my team is that I actually have my personal phone numbers on the website, because I need people to be able to kind of reach out to me. So if they have any concern, if they need to know anything, any information or anything like that, so I'm basically open for discussion. This is how I run all my companies. All my customers can call me and have a conversation with me about whatever it is that they're concerned about or what they need to know. So, when they go on the website, I would see my phone number. So they can call me, or they can call the customer service number. They can contact any one of the four brokers.
No, that's amazing. You don't often hear that a CEO give out their phone number, their personal phone number like that.
Well, I like to interact with people, because that's how you learn as well. In talking to customers, I've learned a lot. Because sometimes, well, as my grandmother always say, you don't know everything. Sometimes they just have to we're willing to listen.
Right.
So I actually and talk to people and hear what they have to say.
Awesome. Awesome. We got tons of questions that I have marked off. But before we get into the questions, I want to show the brochure. Well, we'll go to the map first. Everybody here knows like I love using the map. And then we will go into the brochure. So if you can, I'm going to pull it up here. Just show us on the map here. Yeah, if you could show us on the map here where exactly this is it right here.
Yeah.
Is that the correct place? So here we are. Obviously, this is Jamaica, and then we are here in St. Thomas. I lost it. Where it just pointed out. Okay, right here. Okay, so this is where it is right here, and then you're on the beach here.
Yeah, so we're basically it's about 400 feet above sea level,
Mm-hmm.
but then there's access to get to the beach.
Oh, really? Oh, wow, 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 wow. I saw somebody ask if there's a tunnel or something.
No, we're on the beach side of the road.
Oh, you're on the beach side of the road.
Yeah, so the highway cut through the property set. It divides phase 1 and 2.
Okay.
But we have a underpass, like a tunnel that goes under the highway that connects both sides of phase 1 together. And phase 2 and 3 is on the seaside.
Okay. I'm sorry, I don't really know this area. Is this the highway right here?
Yeah, it looks like the.
Oh, this is they cut it already.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. So
well,
this
it's almost finished though.
Okay.
I guess this is
Oh, I see. This is definitely a highway. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I was too far out. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So it splits the property, and then, like you said, there's a tunnel.
Underpass. Yeah.
There's an underpass. Awesome, awesome, awesome. And then you said currently, right now, it's 25 minutes from KPH, and then
No, from the Norman
not
Manley
KPH.
Airport.
Sorry, Norman Manley Airport. And it will, when it's complete, it'll be about 12 minutes.
About that, depending on the driving.
Right, right. It's around the
Depending on who is driving.
Gotcha. No, wonderful. This is excellent to see visually, and I know a lot of people will very much appreciate that. And yeah, like you're right here. This is where the Norman Manley International Airport is, and boom, we'll bring you right there.
Yeah.
Great location. Great location. All right, let's bring up. Let me bring up the map here. Not the map, sorry. Got the map on the mind. Let me bring up the brochure. One moment here. Oh, here it is. Okay. Okay, so this is the brochure. And just going with it, I'm going to. Is this so? This was sent to me on Google Drive. Can I share this link? Is that okay to share this link? Okay. So I will share this link in the comment section, and also I'll put it in the description. And yep, it's beautiful layout. Oh, here's the highway now. Okay, we
Yeah.
can see it. Gotcha. And this is the underpass here.
Yeah, the underpass.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah, and I agree with opening up, like you said. This is a very modern design. 100% agree with you. I don't know who the architect is, but like they did a very, very good job in putting this together. And these are the breakdowns of the townhomes, the duplex. Very nice.
And I should tell you that the model unit will be furnished just like that's in the pictures.
So I got to come out with a team, and we got to do a video out there. We got to do a pod out there.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah, in the model home. Definitely. Yeah, we will make it happen.
And I should also add that so one of the things that we took into consideration as well is for the more mature buyers. So we have a layout, whereas we put like one of the bedroom on the lower floor.
Very smart.
Because from feedback again by talking to buyers, they express the fact that they're up in age and
Right.
they want to be able to enjoy the property. So going up the stairs might be a challenge.
Right.
So we came up with a design where we're able to put a bedroom on the lower floor. But that's based on request though. So
Mhm.
we have a couple persons who have requested it and we'll build it out like that.
No, very smart, very accommodating, and yes, there's going to be a lot of people who appreciate that. Yeah, and you told us all about all these different amenities. This looks great. Um, so I'm gonna put this and then contact information there. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this link in the comment section. Hopefully you can click it. Okay, great. So now we'll get into the questions from you all, the audience. And thank you for all your questions. We got a bunch of them. So, all right, let me put it up here. Saquon asks, is the commercial space exclusive to the complex?
No, so the commercial space is at the front of the complex. It's actually open up to the general community. But then there are there are amenities on the inside of the complex that is for only residents.
Okay.
So there's even like a daycare center that's inside the complex that's only for residents. But then the general commercial area is for the wider community.
Excellent. MDL asked, will there be fruit trees on the townhouse land?
Well, so we're looking to put in as much trees as possible, but then I guess whenever someone purchase and move in, they're able to put in or they're able to plant whatever tree they desire. But we will put in as much as possible, but I can't like guarantee or say what right now, but definitely.
Okay, awesome. Donna Bryce asked, is solar integrated into your design?
Solar.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah. So our design is to accommodate it, and actually we also have buyers who can agree because we have partners that offer the solar system. So we have buyers who once they can agree before, and we can actually deliver it installed. But if they want to install it themselves, it's already set up that they can put in the system very easily.
Okay. Awesome. Douglas Joseph says, congratulations. Are they going to be is there going to be a swimming pool area?
A what?
Is it a swimming pool?
Of course.
Okay.
It might be the largest swimming pool. It might be the largest residential swimming pool
Wow.
when we're finished.
Awesome. Wonderful. MDL asks, is there a monthly fee for the amenities?
A what?
A monthly fee?
Yeah. There is a maintenance fee. As it is now, it's estimated to be about $220. Yeah.
Is that for regardless of how big or small your home is?
No, so it ranges.
I see.
It ranges.
Okay. Gotcha. I kind of talked about this, but I'll ask this anyway. Douglas Joseph asked, are there going to be an underground entrance to the property? Is there going to be an underground entrance?
No, there is not an underground entrance. So basically, coming from Arborview, there is an exit like right at it's like 1 minute. Once you get off the highway, you make a left turn and it's like one that's coming from Kingston.
Yep.
You get off the highway, make a left turn, and it's literally like a minute to the entrance of Suncoast.
Wow. Right on. That's amazing. Very cool. All right, I have a question here from Nala. Hello. We have a couple actually. So, what has been the biggest challenge in getting the development going? Can you explain the approval process in Jamaica?
Well, biggest challenge. Well, luckily for me, I didn't have any real challenge per se. As far as I see with the different regulatory bodies that give approval in the real estate space, once you have the information together properly, then it shouldn't be a difficulty. You know, most times the delay is really the back and forth. You know, like you present something, it's incomplete. They have to send it back, but you know, I have a very strong team, and we didn't have any issues really. It was just a smooth process. It takes about 6 months for the approval once you submit everything properly. And we didn't have any challenge.
Okay. No, that's good to know because there's a lot of people in the Throp community here that are looking to be developers themselves and do small developments. And I could tell you here in Negril, we need it. And so after you finish this, I'm going to talk to you about doing a development here in Negril because we do have like legit housing crisis in Negril. We don't have
Yeah.
any modern residential accommodations here, like the and for sale. I shouldn't say that. So we have, but it's all occupied.
Okay.
So there is nowhere that is there's a couple being built now, but it's nothing on any mass scale like what you're
Yeah.
doing.
Well,
133 units.
on my way coming in from Kingston, when I was about 10 minutes out, actually I was looking at some land out there like
Let me know. I will be more than happy to facilitate in any way possible because I know we need it here
Yeah.
as a community. And I could talk to you more about this off camera and
Yeah.
give you any research or information that I have.
Yeah, sure. But my advice though to the person who asked the question about challenges is that you know to avoid any challenge you just have to get the right team.
Gotcha.
Because in my experience, what I've seen, because I before before doing it on my own, um, you know, if I should listen to people, I probably wouldn't because they said no, you know, this long and one bag of negative thing, but it's really just a matter of presenting the right plan.
Right.
So it saves time and going back and forth because what I know for sure with the authorities, they're not going to approve it if the plan is not together properly. Because they have to make sure that you know you don't violate whether the environment or the community or you just have to do your research, get the right team, and you shouldn't have any problem.
Great advice. Great advice. I have a question here from Seema on the Move. Looks like the new highway goes right through the property. Can you talk about how this will impact entering and exit? What's the expected homeowners association fee if there is any? I think you answered this, but if you can go through
Yeah,
it.
no.
Yeah.
So the highway goes through the property, but you can't exit from the highway directly into the property. You have to. There's one main gate. So you get off the highway, you go back on the bypass road that I have, and you enter from the main gate. So the highway really doesn't affect it. We're going to have noise barrier to prevent the noise from the highway. It also basically blind whoever is on the highway can't see directly into the community.
I see.
Right. So it doesn't affect it.
Okay. Very smart. I got a question here from Cherie. She asks, will the road work be completed in time for the opening of this beautiful development? I think I read that it's slated to be completed in 2025.
Yeah, so the highway from Arborview to Suncoast is almost completed. I don't know about the rest of it going out to Portland side, but I know for sure. I in my rough estimation by December this year, the highway from Arborview to Suncoast should be finished.
Okay.
Based on what I'm seeing, because I'm there almost every day.
Right. You would know. Rose asks, do you have a HOA in place, a homeowners association?
Well, we have the framework in place, but the actual um, body would be in place when the homeowners occupy. So the association would be formed by homeowners.
Gotcha.
But we already have the framework in place as to how we want it to run, and all the regulations. Of course, when the homeowners take over, they will modify it if needs be. But we have the framework in place.
Great. Shardine asks, what about schools for young kids?
Schools. Well, so we have the daycare for the toddlers, etc. But with the highway, it makes it very easy to commute into Kingston. So the same school, because several of the persons who are buying are people who live and work in Kingston. Well, work in Kingston.
Right.
So with commuting about, say, when the highway is finished, to get into New Kingston might be like 20 minutes.
Wow. So the kids would essentially go to school in Kingston.
That's the same.
Right.
Regular schools that exist.
That's really close. That's really close. That's really close.
Like right now, no, from Emancipation Park to Suncoast is about 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Man, I'm just like picturing it myself. Like, yeah, that's fantastic.
Yeah, man. We did some alright, so part of our I wouldn't want to call it marketing, but a part of the knowledge that we share to potential buyers is to show them the commute time and the from the different areas. So we did some videos which we posted one so far, I think, and we're going to be posting the rest soon. So we did some videos showing like how long it would take from like Emancipation Park to Manor Park or Emancipation Park to Portmore. So we show the different angles as to how the traffic flow, etc. So it's really easy commute from Suncoast into Kingston.
And now, again, I don't know the geography too well of that area. In terms of like the rush hour time, would that be a reverse commute?
Somewhat, but as the area develop, the traffic is going to build
I
up.
see.
But of course, it's going to take quite some time to get to the traffic level as some areas like Constant Spring or to go to St. Catherine's side. So for now, I would say within the next probably 10 years,
Yeah.
before we would get to those level of traffic, because it will take time for the area to build up.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense. This is just a comment from Nala. Says, great idea having a dog park. At least in the US, that is a huge draw for buyers and a huge addition to property value. Cherie D says, curious to know if there's anything in the plan for security, especially for returning residents. I think this is a bit of a concern we hear so often.
Yeah, this is a gated community. So it's a gated community, security access. Of course, it's fenced right around. And we're going to have as part of the security is like there will be frequent patrol. Like you have communities now they have their own patrol car. That there's a similar strategy we'll be using in terms of security.
And can you remind me how big the entire property is again?
91 acres.
Wow. Okay, so yeah, you're definitely gonna need some cars there.
Yes.
All right, this one's another comment. This is from Tisha Innes. So proud of you, Kevin. Y'all come from far, brother.
Yes, thank you very much.
Andrea asks, any relationship to Dorothy Frith from Maddistone, Manchester? I went to CTC with her.
Well, once the Frith is spelled the same way,
Yeah.
we're related, and my grandfather is actually from Maidstone.
Oh, really? Okay, so there you go.
Mhm.
All right, I got bunch more comments come in. Let me see if I can quickly scroll through this. All right. I think I got all the questions. Okay, another one here. This is from Seema on the Move. How would you compare, contrast this development to Richmond Estate? I was surprised with the starting price point for these units.
Well, I would say I don't compare basically. I would just say Suncoast is 1 in a million. It's I would think it will be one of the best development to take place on the island. And if you should look at all the amenities, the design, the location, it's like it's very difficult to compare because it's you know it's exceptional.
Agreed. It looks exceptional from these renditions. Clip 45 asks, will all townhomes have private fences?
Well, so the design of the community is that the fence is to the back, but there's no fence to the front. We can't hide such a beautiful design.
Right.
But there's privacy fence to the back of each of the units.
Okay. Jay Fitz asks, with the swimming pool, will there be a lap pool section?
Will it be a what?
A lap pool section?
Lap?
Yeah, like Olympic pools have like those.
Oh no.
Okay, all right.
No.
So this will be for more leisure lounging.
Yeah. It's luxury. If you look at it, it's pure luxury. It's like the intention of this community. It's really, when you go home, it's going to be hard for you to leave out back because it's just pure luxury. It's like when you reach home, you literally feel like you're just checking into a resort.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just relaxation and chill vibes.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's intended to be like that.
Clip is asking another question. Will there be a boat charter as an amenity?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Wow.
Definitely. Yeah, so all right. So as I said, we're going luxury, modern, futuristic. So we took all those things into consideration. we have it set up where you can dock your own yacht. You can launch a jet ski, a lot of water sport activity. And of course, we're going to have weekly cruise, whether to Maiden Key or whichever of the keys that we decide to go to keep it fresh at all times, But yeah, definitely.
Awesome. That's wonderful. Jay Fitz asks, the right team is very important. What is the size of your team?
The what?
What is the size of your team?
My team?
Yeah.
Well, so in terms of my company,
yep.
So the company is owned by myself and my business partner. His name is Lance Thomas. But then, we have the regular admin people in place, but the team that's building the Suncoast project, they would have their own team. So we have used some of the best engineers and architects and building contractors. So while TCF is a small team because we're really just a development company, but then the persons who would execute on the project, whether the engineers or the contractor, they have their own team. These are fairly large companies.
Yeah. Thank you for that. Phoenix is me. Says, good afternoon, lovely development. Will this property be protected in place of event of a major storm?
Yeah. So our design, like all the designs are taking into consideration hurricane. So the glass are hurricane proof. And as I said, we're way above sea level. So we design and build, and we designed and we're building, take into consideration where we're located.
Okay, awesome. This is a comment. This is from Denise Kerr. Good afternoon. Great project. Love, love, love to see a local developer doing great things. Amazing. Donna Bryce asked, what will be the guidelines to increases in the homeowners fee? There is a building in Kingston that started raising these fees every few months as some owners defaulted.
Um, well, I can't speak to that situation where it's constantly rising, but I know for sure that you know, the way how the framework is set up, it does not allow for any manipulation like that. It is well structured. As I said, it will be run by the homeowners themselves. So they have voting rights, and they have to. They will be the one to determine how they structure it going forward, and I don't foresee that happening. Probably that reference of the constant rising might not be something controlled by the homeowners, because I guess they wouldn't be hurting themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right.
I don't forecast anything like that.
Okay. And S. Barron asks, is it close to the beach? And I can answer that. It's right on the beach, as a matter of fact. And Rachel's asking, will there be washer dryer in the homes?
All right. So we are delivering the units with air conditioning in the bedrooms.
Mm-hmm.
Now we have some buyers who want it as a turnkey situation where it's fully furnished. And then we have some buyers who want it with major appliances. So it's depending on what the buyer desire. So it's a matter of having that conversation upon dealing with the realtor to determine what package suits you best. So we have persons who want it with the solars installed, fully furnished, everything, and then you have some people that want it as it is. So it really depends on it's a case by case basis.
I see.
But everything can be added on, I should say.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for that. Saquon asks, Kevin, you spoke of a jogging trail. What about some grass or courts for, looks like, just sports in general, like soccer?
Yeah. So
basketball?
there's football field.
Mhm.
There's basketball, 2 tennis court, badminton court. As I was saying, there's so many amenities to list. I would be going on and on. So if you go on the website, you'll see the different amenities that will be provided, but there are many.
This is a comment. Eileen Watt says his energy. He said she's talking about your energy. This is not convincing, but I think this is actually like your approach to everything and your transparency is like that's what's convincing for me, I would say, and the access to you and talking and your openness to give us all this information and also your foresight is in choosing this particular part of the country when you did, and like that is what's getting me excited, and also like how you actually designed everything. And somebody actually asked, would you mind giving the name of the architect? This is from Rose.
It's Bizet Construction.
Okay. Don't know who that is, but if you are interested. And you already answered this. Is it possible to purchase as a rental property?
Yeah, it is
Okay.
possible, but like I said, it would be regulated.
Okay, and this is more of a comment. Amazing job. I love this channel. It has ignited my desire and passion for Jamaica and has inspired me to move back. And then Mountain High says, a calm, reflected person, much more important than energy. And Justin D says, what's the closest beach to this development in St. Thomas?
The What?
What's the closest beach to this?
Oh well, we have our own beach, but then Bob Marley Beach is right next to us.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. All right. And then I guess as we're starting to close out here, the one question that I've seen a lot of people ask is how much?
Well, we had a early bird or a special offer that the townhouse started at $300,000. But those are all sold out now. I think we're now at the price bracket of the 2 bedroom, 2.5 bathroom, approximately 1,550 square feet. It starts now at 360,000.
Okay. So I'm going to bring up the website here, and it seems like this has the up-to-date prices here. So I put it up there. If you don't mind, I'll just read them out. So two-bedroom townhouse starting at 360,000. Type A 3-bedroom duplex starting at 520,000. And can you just tell us the difference between these two? Oh, and the mic.
The type A duplex is it's the ones that one has a basement.
Okay.
So it works out to 3 bedroom.
I see.
So the basement unit is complete. It has its own kitchen, bath, everything. It's like a separate entrance and everything for it.
Gotcha. And how about the type C bedroom, 2-bedroom going for 450,000?
So the difference between the type C and
A?
no, so the A is the one with the basement
Right.
that makes it a 3 bedroom.
Gotcha.
And the difference between the C and D is really the positioning of the unit. So one is the one is face to the ocean and one is face to the mountain.
Okay. I'm assuming the ocean one is a type D, which is more expensive, the
Yes.
480. That makes sense. And how many phases are there in this?
3 phases.
There are 3 phases.
Yeah, so we're in phase 1 now, which is the duplex and townhouse. And then we have phase 2, which will have some villas and condominium. And then phase 3 will have larger townhouses, 3-bedroom townhouses.
And are you able to invest in any of those later phases, phase 2 and phase 3 now?
No, not no.
Okay.
But very soon. Very soon.
Okay.
Finalizing that arrangement now because we have quite a number of persons who are interested in the villas. So we're finalizing that now.
Okay. Awesome. All right. I'm going to bring this down. And I'm just going to see if we have any last second questions here. That's it. Okay. Oh, got a comment here. So this is from Shayna Love Coaching. She says, I love the concept of the layout. I can see it can foster a sense of real community potential to really connect with your neighbors. It's awesome. So yeah, I mean, I guess that's about it for me, and also I'd even say the community. Is there anything that you'd like to tell us before you head on out?
Yeah, well, I'll just say that, if you're looking for a property, whether to live or as an investment property, then it's like a no-brainer that Suncoast is the place to be. Whether just from our architecture and amenities, or if you're talking about appreciation and investment, because buying a property at Suncoast within the next year, 2 years after opening, it's the highest return that you would get on your investment right now. Because just so the main fact that it's a developing area, and then there's so much development that's going to be taking place even to the immediate west of the property. There should be a 7 diamond resort that's coming there.
What resort is that? It's the first I'm hearing about it.
It's called the St. Regis. It's a
Okay.
Marriott brand.
Yeah.
It was announced by the tourism minister some time ago,
Mhm.
and that's immediately beside us.
7 Diamond. I don't even know what that means.
It's it's a trial type development.
I see.
With just villas and so on. Yeah, so if you're looking for an investment that you will gain the type of return that's worthwhile, then it's a no-brainer. Suncoast is the place to be.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for joining us today, Kevin. Really appreciate it. Thank you all for all your questions. We're going to take a quick break here, just so I could say goodbye to Mr. Frith, and we'll come right back.
담담하게 넌 무뚝뚝한 말투로 미안하고 고마웠다 말하네. 이미 알고 있던 듯 고개 끄덕였지만 아직 잡은 손을 놓지는 못해. 울어버리면 현실이 될까봐 참아보지만 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우리 남이 됐겠지. 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘걸 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지. 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까.
그런 말 하지마. 내게도 쉬운 일은 아냐. 빠듯한 현실의 무게가 버겁고 낯설어. 마지막 나의 배려가 어쩐지 상처만 주는 것 같아. 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우리 남이 됐겠지. 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지. 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까. 같은 공간 속 서로 혼자인 채로 결국 눈을 마주보지 않는 우리 남이 됐겠지. 차라리 미워하면 차라리 미워지기를 미련과 익숙함 사이 그 어딘가 쓸쓸한 이 정적도 견뎌야만 하겠지. 이별도 사랑의 책임이니까.
Hey,
There's been so much interest in the economic boom that's been happening in Jamaica, both on the investment side and also as a place to move to. Let me tell you about a conference that might help you with this stuff. Throp-X is a 5-day Jamaica investment conference that takes place from November 13th to November 17th at the beautiful Travelers Beach Resort in Negril, Jamaica. This includes 2 full days of expert panel presentations on all aspects of moving to and investing in Jamaica. This includes the brightest minds in the Jamaican real estate market, certified financial advisors from the most prestigious financial groups in Jamaica, banking professionals from the most esteemed banking institutions in Jamaica, among others. If you are thinking about moving to Jamaica, this conference is the perfect opportunity to have direct access to not only individuals who have achieved your dream of moving to Jamaica, but you'll also be among like-minded conference goers who are also trying to move to Jamaica. In addition, there will be 1 full day dedicated to touring both residential and commercial real estate for sale in the greater Negril area to give you a tangible idea of the real estate landscape in Jamaica. There will be exclusive properties for sale on this tour that you will not find listed anywhere else. If you are even remotely considering moving to or investing in Jamaica, this is the conference for you. This is the best way to dip your toe in the water of figuring out whether Jamaica is the right place for you to invest and to live. For more information, please visit Throp-X.com and join our mailing list. I look forward to seeing you in November. All right, we are back. And I see we're having some rich discussions in the comment section, which is great. And I think we should have our own discussion as well. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Once again, shout out to Mr. Kevin Frith for coming out here and doing this live. We were actually trying to do it virtually, but he insisted that he come here in person to do it. And I'm happy he did. And I think this really, really worked out. And I hope you all learned something and you got your questions answered, those who asked them. And I appreciate his transparency on all of these questions, even some of the tough ones that you had. I think it's great when you have a CEO, entrepreneur, developer that is so willing to answer questions right off the bat. And I think he did an excellent job, in my opinion. So I see a couple of questions here, and we can address some of them. And I know this continues to come up. So NN says, I'm curious. Just most curious who's buying. There's so many developments in JA, but wondering how locals can afford. I don't believe they're moving every 2 years to satisfy the market. Kind of discouraging. So, I mean, I would say like let's see if I could pull up the pricing here. So even with the pricing here, like this obviously is for us like a certain caliber person and has a certain income level. I mean, we're talking basically phase 1 pre-construction up to $480,000 US dollars, that is. And that's also, as he mentioned, includes the basic amenities, which are the AC in the rooms, and I forget what else. But you know, if you want washer dryer and you want to turn this into turnkey, that's going to cost you a different price. And that's going to cost you a bit more. And so this for sure isn't, I would say this is not for the average Jamaican. There is even an approval process for people to get into this development. And like he says, he has over 500 applications for 133 units. And so they will go through their process and segmentation of who gets in and who doesn't. And he also says he wants to make this more into a community than to turn it into an Airbnb hub. What this means, and I mean, and in terms of like the average person, and I've said this before, the average Jamaican that is, and I've said this before, is that there does need to be more of a focus, more of a push for housing in Jamaica for the average Jamaican. And I do think that is happening. At what rate, I'm not sure. Could it be faster? More than likely, yes. But this development is obviously not for that demographic. I would say this is more so in a big way, very much for people who are living abroad, looking to move to Jamaica, has a certain lifestyle that they're used to and certain amenities that they're used to, and then they're willing to pay for it. Even the amenities that is on the Sun Coast, it's very, in my mind, it's very much geared towards the person retiring in Jamaica. He talked about an urgent care unit. He spoke about having request for rooms be on the first floor so that people who live there who may not necessarily have the ability to walk up and down stairs with ease, that they can still come in and out of their home and still enjoy the amenities of the entire property. So again, this to me is speaking to and for a particular demographic. Let's see what else we got here. God knows they're turning St. Thomas into a resort area and soon run out regular people. I don't know. So I mean, even with that, if that's what you think's going to happen, what else? Or how else would you? What else would you like to see? I would say, God knows, and how else would you like to see a parish like St. Thomas be developed? And there is going to be development because, like Kevin said, when you have a major connection to the rest of the country, and we know that the government, one of the main mandates and priorities that they have in recent time is to interconnect the entire Jamaica in the most seamless way possible. And so there are going to be more people living to and moving to St. Thomas. And when you think about the overcrowdedness of Kingston, people want to get out of that. People want to have homes, they want to have space. And like I think of this, and I know some people hate when I compare Jamaica to New York, but like these are examples where we've seen this happen before, where you have people that work in the city but live on Long Island, or work in the city and live upstate New York. And it's just more space there. It's a little bit cheaper, and it actually feels like a home and actually feels like a community. Whereas I would say a lot of parts of New York City, it doesn't feel like that, and you don't know your neighbor, you never see your neighbor. And this is a different type of amenity, and I could kind of different type of development, and I could kind of see comparing the two and contrasting the two. But this is the first time that I heard about the Seven Diamond Resort going to that area. What that means, I think it's a good thing. Foreign direct investment is, because we're not a country that like we're producing things. We're not a country that we have major exports going to different parts of the world. We just don't have that. And one of our biggest industry is tourism, and we have to continue to grow it. There obviously there could be arguments made of the sustainability of the growth and how we grow it, for sure. We can talk about that, but I do think foreign direct investment is important. And do I believe it should be controlled? Yes, absolutely. And it should be done in a smart way. And of course, putting the environment first as well. Designs and Property Services says, informative interview. Love to see Paradise Jamaica shining like the super sun that she is. Thank you, Mr. Throp. You're welcome. No problem. All right. And then says, I appreciate you answering, Throp, but I feel like the Jamaicans who can afford these have run out. I beg to differ. I mean, maybe it's changed in the last time that like I really dove into particularly like Kingston, and maybe I didn't need to do a little bit of research, but this was like 2 years ago. But it was local Jamaicans who were a big part of driving the real estate boom that was happening and is happening in Kingston. And this is me talking to realtors and getting an idea and understanding of their clients and who's buying, and even the developers themselves. It's mostly Jamaican developers, and it's mostly Jamaicans who are developing, or at the time were developing, different parts of Kingston. And even this development, it's by a Jamaican, by a local who's doing it. And it seems like it's, again, at that time, it was mostly Jamaicans who were buying these places. Bishop says, I want to see which banks will give a mortgage for one of these units. I'm not sure. Justin says, my suggestion is build interest in our own development group for housing and business. Cheaper to build your own thing. Yep, agreed. Cherie says, there are a lot of people who have moved back move back. So I truly believe we're going to see more growth in these and even smaller / more affordable developments. Yeah, I am seeing. So like, I am also seeing, like, literally like on the road, and in like particularly when I went to Kingston. I didn't talk about this the other week. I don't think I talked about this too much, but when I was in Kingston, I met so many subscribers just like randomly coming up to me and saying hello. And I always encourage you, if you see me anywhere, doesn't matter, please say hello. I would love to meet you all. I know I got this reputation of being unapproachable. That's not true. So if you see me anywhere in Jamaica or anywhere in New York or wherever I am, please say hello. And when I was in Kingston the other week, so many people said hello to me. And what I noticed was a few young people were telling me that they've recently moved here from the United States. And I was like, wow, is this like a trend? And maybe you guys can let me know. I'm thinking particularly like young African American women, and I don't know if we didn't get too far deep into the conversation. Like, I wasn't sure if they had any ties to Jamaica through their lineage. And so, as I was like reflecting on this being the situation, I'm like, man, how long did it take them to plan this move? Because like the few that I met while I was in Kingston and coming back, they live here, they live in Jamaica, and obviously to take that step and to pull that trigger, so to speak, it takes time. You got to set yourself up. You got to figure out your income. You got to figure out where you're going to live. And I would presume this could be a few years process, at the very least, many months, because nobody's just going to get up and leave their country and just move to another one on the whim. So my point is just like, I began, like when I started this podcast, like I began to understand this movement, so to speak. This was like in 2020 of people really considering moving and leaving the United States in particular and moving to Jamaica, and then talking to many, many people who are actually doing it. And now like, is this a result of that is what I'm trying to say here. And it was just kind of interesting to see kind of on the ground and speaking to subscribers who have actually made that move. And to your point, Cherie, that I believe this is going to continue to move in this direction, especially, again, I could tell you the United States in particular, it's very different than what it was years ago. And everybody has their own reasons for why they want to leave the States, or why they want to leave Germany or other parts of Europe or Canada, wherever it is that they may be coming from. But my point in saying all this, it seems like this is not a trend that is slowing down, and Jamaica is definitely on the map for that. And there are other parts of the world that are particularly African Americans are moving to, and just Americans in general who want to get out of America. But Jamaica, in my mind, it continues to trend upward, right? And it's interesting that I'm seeing this on the level that I'm seeing it right now. Oren says, the units are more expensive than the North Coast, but I really don't know St. Thomas, so I can't comment. Just in the average Jamaican salary is $400 to $500 a month. So if someone gave you a mortgage of $350,000, it would take 105 years to pay it off. That's depressing. Yeah, we had a very long and I think fruitful discussion on this. This was actually a live stream we did with the team. The name of the live stream is the Jamaican Dream Dead? And we were talking about the affordability of a home in Jamaica, and particularly for young people. And I won't go too much into it. I would encourage you to actually watch it. But it was just young people on my team. Everybody is 35 and under. One was a homeowner, and everybody, I think it was 3 or 4 people. And everybody else was optimistic about their ability to eventually attain a home, in the sense like, is the opportunity there? Is the financing there? Are they able to qualify, et cetera, et cetera? And we even did put out a survey, and I don't know where we posted this stuff. So that prompted us to actually create a white paper to show people the process of affording a home, going through the whole NHT process, and also even the banking process, like what you need to qualify, how much you need to earn, and these sorts of things. So we try to make it at least educate people, particularly young people, young Jamaicans, on the route strategy of affording their first home in particular. And we put together, curated this white paper to help people understand that. And then we also put out a survey of these of young people that we sent out. We sent it out, I think about 18 or 20 responded. Obviously, a very, very small sample pool, but nonetheless, it's data, it's information. And I believe there is optimism, I would say. And what I think was very much lacking, at least what we saw in the market, was there was an understanding of what that process is like. And so people, when they saw, say $5 million or 10 million Jamaican dollars for a home, they're like, I'll never be able to afford it. But then when you start to see where you have to put yourself in an earning bracket to get to that point of getting a loan where you can be able to service it on a monthly basis through your mortgage, then you can kind of see what you can work towards in order to achieve it. So in our minds, at least based on the survey that we did, it was more so creating an avenue of education on being able to attain a loan. So yeah, if you're interested in that, we did that. It's the name of the live stream was "Is the Jamaican Dream Dead?" Kevin Barrett says going past money required to buy, going past who is buying. Most Jamaicans, including middle class, can't buy $500,000 US homes. Subliminally plus plausibility, deniability. We push Jamaican citizens out. Again, I'm not necessarily disagreeing with you because I do agree there needs to be more developments for the average Jamaican. And I don't know, and then correct me if I'm like, I mean, not correct me, but tell me what you think. But like how is this? So how would this development be hurting say if somebody came along and did a development that was more affordable and for the average Jamaican? I think the market is big enough to satisfy both, and I don't think that this is the Jamaican development market is a market that is completely ignoring that demographic, at least from what I'm seeing in the news. And perhaps we need to maybe do a little bit, I'm just kind of thinking out loud here, maybe we do a little bit more research to see if we can find a development that is taking place that speaks to and is for the average Jamaican. So, and I think it's important to address and to talk about these things because this continues to be a concern that I see on the channel, in the comment section, of the average Jamaican is being priced out. There's not going to be a place for the average Jamaican to live, and I don't want to necessarily ignore these sentiments. And is this the reality? And let's see. Let's find out. Sorry, just trying to get to some questions from people I haven't heard from. Tisha Ennis, I completely agree with you, Throp. My cousin lives in Mona and has a farm in St. Thomas. And when he finally decides to retire, he plans to retire in St. Thomas. These types of properties are rights. Andrew Blake says there are more affordable housings than you may think, just not with a sea view or on the beach. So yeah, that was thank you for that point, Andrew. That was another thing that came up in the discussion of is the Jamaican dream dead? And it was also like there is affordable housing, more affordable housing in other parts of Jamaica. But like you said, you're not going to be on the Negril Beach here. There's no way. You're not going to be in a brand new state-of-the-art community like Suncoast. There's just no way. But could you get somewhere that's more inland? Can you get somewhere that may be in the country? Yeah. And like that's the same thing that, again, going back to my New York analogy, because that's what I know, like you're going to find that it is much cheaper to live upstate New York than it is to in downtown Manhattan or pretty much anywhere in Brooklyn, as a matter of fact. And what do you pay for with that? You're going to be further away from the city center. You're probably going to have to commute a little longer. But there is affordability. There is places that you can live in Jamaica that is more affordable than in new developments like this. Tramalik says, Throp, I'm a realtor in New York, and I'm currently purchasing in the new development in Ocho Rios, but I'd like to jump into the real estate service business in Jamaica. Will you have reps at your conference? Yeah, definitely. We're going to have, so far, we have 3 confirmed real estate companies that are going to be coming to Throp-X 2023. And so, again, I hate to say that this is a real estate heavy conference, but it is, and because I know that this is something that most people are, many people are interested in, is the real estate dynamics of Jamaica, and we try to bring as much value in that respect. And we will also be having the financing institutions of developments and also mortgages there as well. So perhaps that you're not going to be on the commercial side of things and you're just like looking to purchase a home, retirement home, etc. We'll have the professionals who deal with that so you can get an understanding directly about your particular situation and get your specific questions answered about purchasing a home or investing in real estate in Jamaica. Freedom says, Throp, young people are moving with just a few months of thinking about it, especially if they have online jobs. This is a new adventurous generation. Yeah, I believe that. That's true. That's very, very true. And I know, like, even with some of my friends who are able to work online, they may not move, but they'll like go somewhere, vacation, stay there for an extended period of time and work while they're there. So yeah, good point, Freedom. Great point, Freedom. HB says, a lot of Black Americans are moving to Jamaica, close to the U.S., and Jamaica is an English-speaking country. Plus, there are not retirement age. Kevin Barrett says, at some point, prices of these types of homes will reach a limit. Supply and demand has limits. Builders and banks eventually hit a ceiling. They'll be forced to build more affordable homes. Not right now. I think this is a fair point. I don't think we're there yet. And I will say this, and I was alluding to this with Mr. Frith, Kevin Frith, particularly like here in Negril, like we need housing like crazy. Like there is such an open market, and I still don't understand why developers have not come here yet. Housing developers have not come here yet in droves. And I guess there is just speaking to realtors in Kingston, there seems to be a lack of understanding of the market here in Negril. So hopefully this channel and what we're doing here does open the eyes of investors and to take it into consideration. If there are developers out there, or like if even you out there who are watching this, the subscribers, you are looking for a real estate or development opportunity, I mean, my brain is open. Any sort of information that you need. I want to see Negril win. I want to see this community win. And if there are people who are not from Negril, who are not from Jamaica perhaps, and they want to do something about it and kind of fill this gap in the market, I'm here for it, man. I'm all for it. But I do, and I know I'm like talking about both sides of the coin here, but it's important that we do address both sides, because going back to the New York analogy, because what's also happening in New York in a very negative way is that it's become so expensive to live in different parts of the city, but definitely Manhattan itself and very much Brooklyn, that the workers who make the city run are unable to afford to live there. And so the concern is for the city is like, where are these MTA workers going to live? Where are the bus drivers going to live? Where are restaurant workers going to live? Because they can't afford to live in Brooklyn. And so that used to be the thing, right? That you lived in certain parts of Brooklyn, which weren't the best parts of the city by any means, and that you could commute to work and you commute to the city you can afford where you live. But now it's turned into like if you go try to live in New York, in Brooklyn now, I mean, any given neighborhood, 1 bedroom, you're probably you're probably paying close to $2,000. And forget it if you want one of these new buildings, minimum $3,000 minimum. And you can challenge me on that. Anybody, you can look it up yourself. Like it's absolutely outrageous, insane. And so what's happening now is that people, and I don't know if you know like the geography of Brooklyn tri-state area, but people are even commuting from Pennsylvania, which is outside the tri-state area, and we're talking about 4 or 5 hour commutes here just to get to work. But that's what's happening. Different parts of Jersey as well. So my point in saying all this is like I would hate for that to happen here, at least to the extent of that it's happening in New York. So we want to be conscious of this in the phase and stage that we are developing in Jamaica. Wow, these comments are coming in fast and furious. Let me see if I could kind of breeze through them quickly. Freedom says, I'm concerned with those who are left behind. What are the plans for them? If it is true that we are strong as our weakest link, I foresee future problems. I mean, I won't say future problem. We got some challenges even right now. And you're right, Freedom, and everybody who has the same concern. Like these are things that we do need to speak about and should be on the forefront of things. But I do believe that, again, doing a development like this, I don't think that this is hindering from another company, another development, or the development of affordable housing or more affordable homes. But as Andrew Blake said earlier, there are affordable homes in Jamaica and affordable land in Jamaica, but you just won't be on the beach, and you probably won't be in a gated community, and you probably won't have all of these amenities that this place has. Natty says there are lower cost, smaller homes for all income levels being built every day. If this isn't for you, there are many other options. People ought to do more research before loosely talking. Or when these houses become a white elephant because they can't be sold, the prices must come down. Those prices can give you a mansion in the hills. I mean, who knows if that's what this is going to turn into, but as Mr. Frith says, he has 133 units and he has over 500 applicants. So I don't necessarily think that this is going to be one of those situations. It looks like the demand far outsees the supply and the inventory. Copeland Russell says Jamaicans who are planning to move back home buy new, else you will not be able to do so very soon. BCA Smith says the government needs to provide the poor people of St. Thomas with land to build houses or land for farming. A new housing development should provide 5 to 10 houses for new income groups. B Still says, I have considered the idea of moving back. Most importantly now, especially since the COVID crisis. I am from St. Thomas, but I prefer acreage style living for my children and I. Hey Rika, Virtual Design Studio says the NHD developments as well as the HAJ developments are done for the average low and middle income Jamaican. Noel Phillips, what's going on, Noel Throp? There are thousands of units that have been built and are being built for the entry-level home owners. A development like Suncoast doesn't take away from the affordable home ownership. Yeah, I was saying the same thing. This is for one particular market. These developments that Noel is alluding to are for another market, and I don't believe one affects the other at all. Like at least directly, Inga Baby says, I agree that there needs to be more decent, affordable housing for the regular Jamaican citizen. We can't just cater to the returnees or foreigners. Ken's Jerk Cutting Vivo. Why is the house in Jamaica selling so dear from the real estate agency? Bishop says the average Jamaican should be able to live in luxury at an affordable cost. that's just not the reality of the world that we live in. I mean, where in the world does that exist? That you can, the average person or average citizen of a country, city, or where our town is able to live in affordable luxury. I'd love to hear an example. Nala says there are a ton of people who want to leave the U.S. whether they are retired, work from home, etc. It doesn't matter. Point is, Jamaica is definitely one of the targeted relocation countries. It really is, and it's been like, I feel like it's been slowly moving up this list, and it really because of the people who have already come before the people who want to come, and these Facebook groups that I see are great resources of community resources for people. This channel, I would say, also put into that category. Just a good community resource of information on how to move to Jamaica, how to invest in Jamaica, and people are really taking it upon themselves to formulate these groups. Shamalik says, awesome, thank you. I'm more interested in the license process. It would be good to have reps from real estate board of JA as well. Thank you. That's a good point. Havrika, if you could just make a note of that. Let's see if we can get somebody from the licensing real estate board. I think that would be good. And then for those who want to get into real estate, they'd have access to those individuals as well. Kevin Barrett says, I encourage viewers to cruise real estate in Jamaica. There's literally nothing under $30 million regarding developments. Fixture uppers are a challenge. Took me 2 years to buy into development. I'll leave it at that. I'll leave your comment right there, Kevin. Justin D, I believe you can still rent a closet to live in Manhattan for only $2,000 a month. Yep, you're right on point with that, Justin. Nala says you cannot buy a nice modern townhouse in North New Jersey or New York for $360,000. Yeah, I mean, you're probably closer to like $1 million, I would say. Mark McCarthy, I must say the real estate market in Jamaica is real, and with the many excursions in Jamaican hospitality, all range of properties are profitable to developers at the present time. I've experienced the same thing just from doing this channel, so I agree with you, Mark. I might be taking this comment out of context, so I don't want to read it. Tisha says people are moving to towns way out of Connecticut because the cost of living in New York is so insane. Yeah, and it continues to rise ridiculously. I think another reason why people are considering moving to Jamaica, especially from like the tri-state area, is like the affordability is just not what it used to be by any means. HB says, agree, cheaper properties in the rural areas close to Kingston. Just cannot see myself buying a $500,000 house in Jamaica or America. Freedom says, I know young adults looking in Brooklyn and a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment range between $2,900 to $3,200 a month. Absolutely insane. Inga Baby says, I used to live in Queens, New York, and I worked in New York City. Thank God we bought a house in Florida and moved away. Kevin says, going to my second purchase and a development took 8 months of research. Nothing is under 30 million. I have 2 years to return to JA. Homework. Very careful homework, folks, is necessary. I think I mean homework. Sorry. Nala says, whether you like it or not, the reality is there aren't many places where you can buy a new modern home with amenities, beach, great weather, fresh food, English speaking for 360,000. English speaking, 360,000 is actually a steal for many. Yeah, that's the way I look at it too. For what you're getting, it really isn't a lot of money. And I'm trust me, I don't have it, but I just know when you look at the big picture of real estate and homes, like and other parts of the world, not just thinking about Jamaica, it's not a lot of money. Cherie says the developments bring in people who are spending money at the shops, small bars and stalls, so it's still bringing in cash flow. This is one project that is catering to a market that does exist. I agree. And I also say, like, especially like if you're I would say part of the diaspora, or you're moving from abroad to a community in Jamaica. Like there's so much that, and I talk about this all the time, that there is so much that you bring, and your experience, your knowledge, especially like if you're going to be an entrepreneur, especially if you're going to uh, somehow be part of the working force here and be involved, or if you're going to be involved in your community. I think you bring so much experience that can really help, whether you think it or not, that you really have an impact on your community. Especially, I'm sure St. Thomas isn't necessarily a parish that is super populated, and I will even say even Negril, like, or a small little community, like one person has like just such great impact on this community, on children. One retiree who decides to get involved with the Chamber of Commerce, or the Rotary Club of Negril, or St. Anthony's Soup Kitchen. Major impact, major impact. And everybody's coming with different experience, different work experience, different ideas, different, you know, global experience from traveling the world. And we talk a lot about brain drain. Like, this is a reverse brain drain. You know, this is minds and experience coming to Jamaica, are coming back to Jamaica, and are staying here and are investing here. So to me, this sort of thing is definitely has huge positives to it as well. BCA Smith says many people are moving to areas where they can buy land to plant their own food due to the cost of living crisis impacting many families in the US, Canada, Europe, and other countries. Yeah, I agree. There are a lot of people who are very much interested in getting into farming and having their own farms, either as part of their backyard, or near their homes, or living on the farm. And I encourage this sort of thing. Tisha says most people have no clue just how much money is in Jamaica. There's some very wealthy people in Jamaica, and others that make a great salary even if they lived abroad. Yes, there's a lot of money in Jamaica. Like, I have to say, uh, even just going to Kingston for the few days that I did, I think it was last week or the week before. Yeah, you could feel it. You could see it. Not only, like, even when you go to like these different restaurants. I mean, these restaurants are beautiful, great food. I don't know what star restaurants they are, but great service. I mean, obviously these restaurants, and they were crowded. The ones that I went to, they're obviously crowded, catering to a certain demographic. When you see the cars and trucks that are driving around, these are like top of the line vehicles that you're seeing, that I was seeing at least throughout Kingston. And for those of you who know, have ever bought a car in Jamaica, like, you're literally paying double what you'd pay in the United States for them because of the import tax. So, you know, the Benzes and the Beamers and all these things, and they're paying double what they would pay for in the United States. And so, like, this is telling me, like, you can afford two of these G-Wagons here, you know, but you got one for two, or, you know, whatever you want to call it. So these sort of things, when I see, as like, you just know that there is a lot of money coming into Jamaica, and people are making money in Jamaica, and there seems to be opportunity here, and we can talk about the housing developments and opportunities there as well that play into this. HB says a lot of people aren't living in luxury in America. People living in their car or RV. If your money isn't big, look into rural areas in Jamaica. Natasha says, good afternoon. I understand the opinions about the pricing. However, in Jamaica and in the U.S. where I live, the prices are going up. I live in North Atlanta. And the prices of the homes is crazy right now. That's why I will purchase in Jamaica. I will definitely get more for my money. Freedom says, I believe Jamaicans are the greatest ambassadors for Jamaica. We truly rep for our country. If Jamaica improves its hospitals, healthcare, and crime, even more people would flock to Jamaica. I agree. I truly believe we're on the trajectory for this of addressing many of the things that you just said, Freedom. Noble Girl says, talk about having reliable water. NWC is looking to strike again. Yeah, I keep hearing about this. I talked last week. They're, I think, somewhere either in Sav or on the way to Sav. They blocked the road because some communities weren't getting water, and it has been a long time. So I really don't know what is going on, but the people are upset. I will say that, and the backlash is real. I don't know what's happening, and I don't want to speak to something that I'm ignorant on at this time. So I will look into that, and if I can, I will bring an update to that. Tramalik says, I live in New Rochelle, which is looking like a mini Manhattan these days. Easier for me to purchase in Jamaica than here, if I'm honest. Jamaica offers way more for your dollar than NYC. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. There's no doubt about the opportunity in real estate here, and then also just the increase in value and the potential for that is tremendous. And there are just so, and then you just think about just getting in the right place, and it's hard not to get into the right place. You know, you look at St. Thomas, you look at the infrastructure and the investment that the government has made into the roads, and then you have Mr. Frith doing this development. And I mean, if I had the money, I would invest in it, but I don't. But this seems like a great investment, I would say, and it seems like you would make your money back and more. Leslie Robinson says, some of these comments reflect the utopian ideals of democratic socialism in the 1970s. What do they expect in the market economy? All right, let's see here. Ebony X, hello. Thanks for joining. Andrew Blake says, come to Jamaica, calculate buying as much as you like, enjoy the island, enjoy the lifestyle. It's all beautiful. I repeat, there's only so much land. Ebony X says, there are many people that are returning to Jamaica that can well afford these houses and more. Better believe that. Shayna Love Coaching, I like the concept. Reversed brain strong. Yeah, brain drain, reverse brain drain, yes. Natasha York says, the development in St. Thomas is worth it. It's for a particular market, over 500 applicants for 133 homes. It's a beautiful thing for developers. Stacy Martin says, I want to move to Negril, but I want to feel safe as a single female. Any advice? Yeah, there are many single females who have moved here from different countries around the world. A lot, at least the ones that I know, but mostly from the United States. And they say they feel safe. To me, just from observation outside looking in, seems like they live great lifestyles. I would advise you perhaps to join some of these local Facebook groups. Capital of Casual is one on Facebook. Black Expats in Negril is another one. There's another one. What is it called? Black Expats living local in Jamaica. That's another one. So I would say join these groups, make friends, talk to women who have moved from different parts of the world to Negril and now call Negril home. You can go to, I did an interview. I'm trying to think of the single women who've moved here who I've interviewed. So Irija or Irie Steneth, I did an interview with her, I think 2 years ago. I believe she's from New York. I think she's from Brooklyn, and she's been living here, must be close to 8 years at this point. Maybe 7 years. I think she moved here in 2018, if I'm not mistaken. And so her contact information is on there. I don't remember what it was called. I don't remember what the podcast was called, but the picture is me and Irie on the beach, and we had yoga mats. So she is a yoga instructor, and that's what she does for a living here in Negril. Single female that moved here, and she's very much a part of the community. And so that would be my advice: is to reach out to some folks who have done this already and are doing what you are trying to do. And if you need me to connect you with them, I'd be more than happy to. So you can just shoot me an email at throp@thropmedia.com. I'll put that in the comments. So yeah, shoot me an email, and I'd be more than happy to connect you, Stacy. And I know they'd be more than happy to talk to you as well. Tisha says, if you know, you know. Most people wouldn't know because they're not exposed to that type of wealth or community. Nadi, Porsches, Benzes, and Beamers are very common here, and not yet the Lambos and Ferraris, but we're getting there. Yeah, but there are Lambos and Ferraris in Jamaica. I'll tell you that. I haven't seen them myself, but I've heard about them. But yeah, we got a Porsche dealership, multiple Porsche dealerships in Jamaica. Like when I heard that was coming, I was like, what? Porsches, Jamaica? I mean, we got a bunch of Porsches here in Negril, as a matter of fact. And I could tell you, people want bigger and better, more expensive vehicles. Like it's crazy, but there is money here. BCA says better healthcare services required in Jamaica. I agree. Giselle Vlog says, what's the point of paying 500 pounds in London for property when I go to Jamaica and get more for my money? You got to pick your struggle. Yeah, your money would go, that type of money would go way, way further in Jamaica, and your return on investment is going to be astronomical, especially if you're in the right market, in the right place. Like I could tell you, and I was talking about this before about Negril, and I hate to keep coming back to Negril, but this is just what I know, is that because of the inventory here is so low, what is available has just gone up astronomically, and that's supply and demand. That's the way an open market works, right? And so and if you're familiar with Negril, if you looked into purchasing real estate in Negril even a year ago and 2 to 5 years ago, forget about it. When you compare what you would have paid then to now, it's insane. It's out of this world. But it just goes to show you just how sought after homes in Negril are, because we just don't have enough. And even the rent here is very high because we don't have enough apartments for rent. And if you're trying, and I know there's some people here in this community and on this live stream, and if you try to get, say, an Airbnb or apartment rent from, say, November to, let's say, December to March, go try right now. I mean, good luck. You might find gaps here and there. You're also probably going to pay a very high price because it's almost impossible. You know, when I speak to, like, I have friends or people reach out to me looking for apartments for rent during that time, during the winter, just not there, just not possible. And then on top of that, we're still suffering as a community. We're still suffering the effects of COVID. So there just are not a lot. We don't have as much room inventory in Negril, for hotels that is, than we did pre-COVID, because some hotels didn't open back up. Some hotels are for sale now. And so that also plays into the low inventory that we have here. Colleen Willis says, most persons overseas understand credit and is therefore better able to access financing or position themselves to achieve luxury housing, whether to live or invest. And this speaks to, great point, Colleen. This speaks to the white paper that we put out. And this is what we understood when we were doing the research for our live stream, Is the Jamaican Dream Dead? Is that there was just a lot of naiveness when it comes to when it comes to getting financing for a home. And this kind of tells me, it's like, man, as a community and a society, we just need to do a better job of educating our young people. And the same goes for, I would say, even in the United States. And this is like me personally, somebody who's grown up there. We just do, in the United States, we just do a very, very poor job of having young people understanding personal finance and also how the world of money works. And the same thing, I would say, is evident here in Jamaica. And a lot, I can say, for young people, and again, the little research that we did, a lot of young people don't even know how the NHT system works. They don't know how the banking system works. They don't know what the requirements are on a basic level of to get a loan. They don't understand how interest rates work. And so again, as a society, I believe we just need to do a better job of educating young people and just society in general on how these systems work, because it is a system. And yeah, I wish we could do more along these lines. And I think we can. I think we can. And these are the sort of things and ideas that I want to kind of push out. Kevin Barrett says, one inherent danger in pricing is displacement of families who become unable to buy or rent in the U.S. Right now, millions are being displaced to live in tents. There's utopia, and then there's reality. I am Coffee Tea. I lived in Negril for 6 years. Awesome. TNK, give me a little context here. You said, what career pays over 50,000 US? Is that here in Jamaica or in the US? Tisha says, my cousin owns a Porsche truck, has always lived in Jamaica, which I think you're telling us is that he's earned his money here in Jamaica to be able to afford that. Your everyday lifestyle with Carrie Ann. Happy to catch you live again. Awesome. Thanks for being here. All right. I think we've gotten all caught up with the comments, and I thought this was a fruitful discussion. And obviously, not obviously, but like anytime we do a discussion on luxury real estate, the properties and luxury real estate developments, there's always the other side of the coin that comes up. And to me, this tells me, it's like, man, I know Noel had the comment earlier about the many, many real estate developments that are happening that are for a more affordable demographic. And this is telling me, he's like, oh, we need to just do a little bit more research on that and to kind of bring that to the table here and to show people that that is available. In the white paper, we do have that. In the white paper that we created, we do have that. I'm going to send that. We're going to do, I keep saying this every week, we are going to send out the newsletter this week. Absolutely promise. I'm going to include the white paper in the newsletter this week. I'm going to re-put it out just so people can see the research we've done and also get an understanding of the process of attaining an NHT loan or even just a regular bank loan here in Jamaica. And if you haven't signed up, you can sign up for our newsletter at Throp-X.com. And be sure to include the white paper and also the results of the survey that we put out on young people. We asked our Canvas young people on their, optimism of being a homeowner within their lifetime. So if you haven't, you can sign up for the newsletter, and I will include the white paper and also the results of the survey that we put out in the newsletter that we put out this week. Justin D says, building equity through investment, for example, a property and business development project in Jamaica. I might be taking that out of context there, Justin. Sorry. And then says, I think you're doing great, Throp. I apologize that I didn't really realize today's program was more targeted for a specific demographic. Definitely looking forward to more of your shows. Thank you. And I appreciate your questions and your comments. So please keep them coming. No matter how you feel about whatever it is that we're discussing here on the channel. I like to hear the feedback and hopefully get your any questions that anyone may have answered. TNK says, in Jamaica, what wages are 50,000 plus to afford a $200,000 home? I mean, the first thing that came to mind in you asking that question is being a business owner. There are so many, I would say there are so many opportunities here in Jamaica. So many opportunities, and there are so many businesses that are just lacking in Jamaica and lacking in Negril, I can say. And so being an entrepreneur, that is like the number one thing that comes to mind. Being a real estate agent, I would say, is probably definitely a career that you can earn over $50,000 US dollars a year. I can't think of anything else. I don't want to speak out of turn. But those are the two things that I can think of. And then obviously, if you go into like being a doctor, lawyer, engineer, I'm sure you're earning way, way, way over that. I know that for a fact. As a matter of fact, if you go down that path. Kevin Barrett says, Throp, you're correct. We must do a better job of sharing info and education, but in the end, we are responsible for our own destiny. That is right. Shayna Love Coaching says, just a thought for future real estate discussions, probably can consider distinguishing luxury real estate versus non-luxury real estate for future viewers or not. Good idea. Good idea. Thank you for that. Oh, this is Justin. Thank you, Justin. Okay. All right. I think we are gonna wrap up there. This was a really good discussion. There's some articles that I was gonna go into, but I think maybe we'll save it for next week. I still want to go through that video of, I know I keep talking about this, of the Jamaican gentleman who decided to move to and retire in Rwanda as opposed to Jamaica for all these different reasons. So we'll see if we could do it next week, but we're going to do it this week. But we had Mr. Frith come on, and I thought that was definitely more important than that. But I know I promised, so we'll do it at some point. Excuse me. We'll do that at some point. Got some exciting stuff coming up this week. We got the live stream on Thursday, so it will be on Thursday this week. So Thursday, 4 p.m. Jamaica time, we'll be having the second live stream come on. We're going to be dropping the trailer that everybody already saw for Throp-X 2023 this year, November 13th to November 17th. And we have the newsletter coming out this week. So this is going to be the first newsletter really geared towards Throp-X. And of course, we're going to have some, real estate opportunities that we want to continue to highlight in the newsletter. So that's both for rent and for purchase. And we try to do that every month. So if you're not signed up, you can sign up at Throp-X.com and you can join our mailing list. And if you want to learn more about and keep up to date with what's happening for Throp-X 2023, you can do that there. You can also follow us on Instagram at Throp-X. So we haven't been really posting a lot there as yet, but we're going to ramp that up in the next few weeks, next few days. As a matter of fact, we're going to ramp up more of our content and what's coming. So you can follow us there. We got a lot of awesome podcasts. Like, the team has been working very hard and booking guests to come on. We've recorded a bunch already. We're putting them together, and we're going to start the release of these podcasts for the summer and into the fall, starting this weekend. So very, very excited for this first one coming up, and it's going to be real estate focused. I don't want to spoil it too much, but we have some great, this next one I'm very, very excited for, this realtor that we spoke to. But I will make sure that I post about it in the community, on the communities page. All right, I got some few comments, last minute comments coming in. I will just read through them quickly, and then we will continue our closeout. Tisha says, thank you, Throp. Amazing discussion. Thank you for joining. Appreciate it. Nala says, this seems like deja vu with Little Bay Country Club in Richmond Estates. When those two developments were built, a lot of people thought they were overpriced. Now they sell for double. Yep, that's exact. I can speak for Little Bay Country Club. And I was one of those people that's located here in Negril. I was like, these things are way too expensive. They're overpriced. I wish. The same thing's going to happen with Suncoast. You can already see that. Okay. Have a great weekend too, Shane. Week, I should say. Have a great week. You're welcome. You're welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining, Rachel. Thank you. You're welcome, Andrew. Appreciate it. You guys have a great week. We will see you on Thursday at 4 o'clock. I'll send out a reminder so everybody is aware. And if you haven't joined our mailing list on Throp-X.com, please be sure to do so. We will get you out the newsletter in the next few days. Have a great week. Thanks for joining and spending time with me here on Sunday. I'll give you that beach view one more time. Peace.